everyone, welcome. So on the agenda for today, I thought what I'd do is show you my morning routine. It's a short yoga practice and it's just the sequence that I've been working with lately. It's my go-to right now because it's really cold here. And when it gets cold, I stiffen right up. And so I like to start my day just working into the stiffness a little bit. I find in particular in the upper back and shoulders, neck and shoulder region. So this is a nice supported way of working into that stiffness. By the end of the practice, I feel looser, a little bit more mobile, and also energized. So it's a nice start of the day type of practice. Okay, let's give it a go. Okay, to begin, set yourself up with a crossed bolster. Okay, so this is two bolsters. The one on the bottom is horizontal. The one on top is going to be spine-wise. Now, if you don't have two bolsters, you can always use, roll something up, make it nice and bulky. A few towels rolled up can work. You can even put two blocks side by side, and that could function more or less as the bottom bolster. I like to do this near a wall so that my feet will touch. Okay. All right, so when you're going into the cross bolster, the idea is that it's moving you into the direction of a headstand. Okay, so I say that so that you can place yourself correctly over the bolsters. Okay, sit on the very front edge of that vertical bolster, lift your chest up, and then lengthen yourself back. Okay, do not slide all the way back. Lengthen yourself back and just let the head go back and touch down. Okay, so you can see that I am on the crown of my head, a little bit more towards the back of the crown of my head. In some other asanas, namely Setu Bandha Sarvangasana, which can also be done over this type of setup, you would land the shoulders on the ground and bring your head more into this position, right? So you have the Jalandhara Bandha. But in this variation, in this cross bolster setup, you're landing on the head, the shoulders are just hanging here in space. Okay, notice the nice shape to the chest. Roll the buttocks away from the waist. You want to feel long in the lumbar spine, and then you can extend your legs. Okay, you can keep a little space between your legs, and then you can also extend your arms. Now, I enjoy having my feet into the wall for a couple of reasons. For one, when you touch the wall, it gives you just a little bit of stability, groundedness. I enjoy that. I also find that having my feet touching something allows me to control my legs better. Okay, the action in the legs here is to turn the front of your thighs in, press your knees and thighs down, and then from the back of the legs, extend into the heels. Now, if you don't have the option to keep your feet into a wall, or if for whatever reason you'd prefer not to, another nice thing to do is to just simply place a strap around your arches or even around your thighs, just to give the legs a little bit of containment. Okay, it's not to strangle the legs, but just to create a little bit of resistance there. Okay, just to contain them. Okay, and then release the arms up and over and allow the shape of this setup to inform the shape of your chest. Okay, at any point, if the shoulders, you feel it's a little bit too intense, you can always bring your arms back and just rest your hands on your abdomen. You can even interlace your fingers like so, and it will help keep your arms in place in case the bolster is not available for your elbows. Okay, but you'll get even more access into the side chest, upper back, thoracic region with the arms over. So first, just be here, breathe, get to know this shape. From the back of your legs, reach into your heels, push the wall, and then from the corners of your pelvis, through your armpits, right through to your elbows and then your wrists, reach the front body up and over. Okay, notice here, I have my arms soft. You can absolutely extend the arms, full extension. I enjoy just placing one palm on top of the other, keeping the elbows a little bent, and just having a little bit more of a release as opposed to an extension here. Okay, press the thighs down, receive the lift to the chest, and enjoy. Inhale, exhale. Yeah, you can be here for a little bit. Every once in a while, check back in. If you're using the wall, notice the touch of your right foot as compared to your left. And just see if it's even. It's not uncommon to sort of tilt a little bit to one side. One hip may be a little bit tighter, one side body, side waist, maybe a little shorter. So just observe that and extend evenly into your feet. Again, turn the thighs in, press your knees and thighs down, feel the response in the abdominal area. And then can you make the back of your legs longer than the front of your legs? Reach there. Keep your face soft, throat soft, and again, breathe. Okay, if you're finding for any reason that this is not comfortable for you in your back, in your lower back, that's one of the other reasons why I sometimes enjoy using the wall, is you have a little bit of flexibility. You can take your legs a little higher up the wall, and sometimes that can help. Okay, you may have to widen them if it ends up making you too close to the wall. Okay, of course you can also put a bolster at the wall and raise your heels up on that or up on some bricks. Now, depending on how much time you have for this practice, that can dictate how long to stay. But this morning routine that I've been doing it's not my full practice for the day, right? It's just a bit of a get me going in the morning sequence. So I don't stay for that long, just a few minutes. Okay, if you wish to stay a little longer, feel free to pause the video. Otherwise, you can take a few conscious breaths here. Focus on the inhalation, and then moving on an inhalation, slowly bend one leg, then the other. Keep your feet apart, knees bent. You can take your hands back to your abdomen, pause there. And then from here, you're gonna slide yourself back down towards the buttock area. Just lift the head a little, and then from here, sit yourself back up. Okay, take a moment here in the upright position and breathe. Okay, next up, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Place your thumb and index finger wedge, here like this, right into where the wall meets the floor. And when you position your hands, keep the distance between your wrists at least as wide as you are. Okay, don't close yourself off. And in terms of the leg side, also be generous here with the amount of space as you're getting started here. So I'd say at least hip distance. If you enjoy, if it feels good in your body to go a little wider, then please feel free to do that. Okay, thumb and index finger wedge right into the wall here, and push the wall. Okay, you're sort of pushing down and into the wall. You can even begin with your hips back a little bit, okay, and then lift your knees up and lift your hips up. Okay, immediately adjust towards the back of your toe mounds, and then again, push the wall, reach your hips up and back, and then move the weight from the arms to the legs. Maintain this lift of your hips, and maintaining that, can you descend your heels any amount? Okay, lift those shin bones up, press them back. Lift your kneecaps all the way up to your groins and move back. Move the front of your thighs towards the back of your thighs. Penetrate the groins from front to back, and keeping those hips lifted and sharp, descend your heels any amount. Okay, just let your head be, neck be neutral with your ears level between your upper arms. Okay, if there's any tension in the neck, feel free to put a blanket, a bolster, something for your forehead, and that will likely help relieve some of that tension. Just support the forehead as you do this pose, particularly for longer holdings. That can be quite helpful for some. Okay, again, push the wall, reach your hips up and back, and as if you could sit your buttocks up on the wall behind you. Okay, so in that direction, the bottom of your buttocks, right where it connects with the thighs, go back, back, back and up and back, up and back. Okay, and then release, lower yourself down, and pause. Take a couple breaths. Okay, now again, depending on your timing, you can repeat however many times, go up and down a few times, go for longer holdings, shorter holdings. It's really up to you. I'm going to move on so I can get to the next part of this sequence and try to keep it as contained as possible so that you can do it in a short amount of time for those mornings when you may not have more than 15 or 20 minutes or so. Okay? Okay, next up, we're going to work some variations of Viparita Dandasana. Now, if you have a Viparita Dandasana bench, then of course, use that. It's also sometimes referred to as a backbender. But if you don't have that, a chair can work quite nicely. So what I've done here is I have the chair, and then I want to make the chair a little longer. So I've added a short bench here. It can also work with 2 chairs, so seat to seat. It's a little more awkward to get into, but it absolutely works. And then I've placed a mat, folded mat, so that there's rubber on both pieces of furniture. Okay, then there's a long blanket, long narrow folded blanket that comes just a little bit over the edge here, which is going to make it a little more seamless for you to arch back over this setup. And then on the ground here, I have again another blanket, and I've folded it such that I've opened it up such that there's a little bit extra here, and I can roll it, and this gives the option to have a little bit of support for your elbows once you arrive down to the floor in your Viparita Dandasana. Okay, and then the last thing is in this corner over there, I have a bolster. And that may come in handy. It's especially handy if you have a yoga friend who can place it for you in the correct spot, but I will do my best and show you how I maneuver it using my legs when we get to that spot. Okay, so let's try it. Okay, you're gonna sit on your setup here, and this is the most precarious part, is that you need to go back here and not hit your head on the bar. Okay, so you gotta get through the chair. And you're gonna lay yourself back, being mindful here of this. Okay, then hold the bar here, the frame of the chair, I should say. And you don't really need to be so close to the wall. I do find it helpful to have the wall here, but you can kind of work that out. And then you're going to maneuver yourself back, okay? Then carefully take one arm in, other arm in, and adjust to the tip of the blades, push down here, and start to arch yourself over the setup. Okay, and then just pause here. And one thing that I want to point out is just the difference in this arch, in this back arch, when you are using your arms effectively and when you are not. Okay, so for example, I'm not doing anything with my hands. And here I'm just kind of collapsed. And if I stay like this for a while, my neck will absolutely start complaining. Okay, so instead what I do is I use the power of my arms. I pull down on this bar, I draw the shoulder blades away from the neck, and then all of a sudden there's so much freedom and I don't feel any discomfort in my neck. Okay, it's literally just hanging there. Breathe, take the shape, and then with your legs you can because you have this extra length here in your setup, maybe try Baddha Konasana for a little while. Okay, externally rotate your thighs. Again, keep pushing down, shape your chest, and almost like you're trying to make the neck longer. Look over. Now here, the idea really is to work at all the different spots of your back. So you can stay in this upper back region, not a problem. Maybe that's where you're the most stiff, that's where it feels good, then go for that, do that. And you can work here in Baddha Konasana. You can also work on Padmasana. Okay, now for my Padmasana, I find I can take it, but my knees won't quite reach down to this bench. So this is where the bolster comes in handy, and I have to sort of maneuver it up into space here and place it pretty close to me. Okay, and then from here, I can adjust my legs into Padmasana. Okay, and then from here, I can push down. And as you spend some time here, you can start to shift a little bit more down, right? Work rib row by rib row. Extend those legs away. Pull down on the frame of the chair. Roll the front body over the back body. And just check in with your neck. Make sure you're not unnecessarily gripping. Let it go. Just check it every once in a while. Okay, sometimes we hold the head in weird places. Just let it completely release. And breathe. Okay, the timings really need to be your own. See what's reasonable for you. And the leg positions also, they're your own. So you want to work with straight legs. You could put the legs into the wall, or however, if your legs are long enough, maybe to the floor, depending on the shape of your setup. Or you can stay in Baddha Konasana, Swastikasana, Padmasana. You work it out. Okay, if you're doing some kind of setup, leg position I should say, that's two-sided, then do make sure you have time for both sides. Okay, I'm going to do my second side while I show you the last variation, right? So you're going to make your way row by row, getting in there, and then ultimately you're going to see, can you reach your head down towards the floor? Okay, so now your hips ought to be just, this is much more, more of a lumbar curve. You're definitely working into the lumbar region. So if you have a problem with the lumbar area and this doesn't feel good, then not appropriate for you today, right? Don't work into that. Stay with the upper back. Okay, and then here, if you're going for another variation with the legs, you can take that. And then here, in fact, I think I have to bring my bolster a bit closer. There we go. Okay. Then you can take your hands to the floor. And I often do this. I place my hands on the floor almost like Urdhva Dhanurasana. Take a little lift, really free the neck, and then lower myself back down. And then you can adjust your arms into Shirshasana position. Okay? And if your elbows aren't connecting with something, see if you can work out your setup so that they have a little bit of purchase. And then roll your hands into your head, Push your elbows down. Extend into your legs. So for me in Padmasana, I'm reaching those knees away and down. And breathe. Keep the face soft, abdomen soft. And stay for however long floats your boat. Okay, once you've had enough, you can once again take hold of the frame of the chair, carefully release your legs. I'm going to shift the bolster out of my way. Now to come out here, I'm going to suggest you come out the way you went in. So this is going to take a little bit of skill here, okay? Press down into your chair frame here, lift yourself up and maneuver yourself back. Okay, maneuver yourself back. Take the arms back inside, shift a little forward, and then push yourself up. If you've got the wall right there, you can sit back, take your head to the wall, palms on the wall, and just recover yourself for a few breaths here like this. Okay, now last thing, after that, once I feel okay, sometimes I take a couple, just a little twisting, like a chair Bharadvajasana kind of thing. If you feel you need that, by all means do it. And then I go for a handful of jumps up into full arm balance, okay? Adho Mukha Vrikshasana. So from here, I go once with for me, my dominant leg is the left leg. I kick up with the left first and lift up. And I don't stay for long. I come back down. Then I go up with the right leg. And come back down. And then from here, I start jumping up with two legs. Okay, push the floor down, scrub your heels up. I might start to explore balance a little bit, move the mid buttock into the body, into the body, into the body. See if you can find the balance, find it. Find the control on the way down. And I'll do maybe two more of those. And then recover in a resting Uttanasana. Okay, my legs are a bit angular, so feet away from the wall, buttocks on the wall. And then hang down. Cross your forearms. Just gently tug on the elbows and let the entire side trunk release down. Okay, let the waist release, the side ribs, side chest, everything. Just hang down. Let go through the back of your neck. Take a few breaths. If you feel the need for a little bit of twisting, you can always go for a Parshva Uttanasana. Hold your ankle with both hands and just gently twist to one side, keeping the opposite hip still on the wall. Okay? Optional, but can feel nice. If that's, you just need a little release there, it's a nice idea. Okay, and then on an inhalation, come back to a concave position and back up. And then go seize the day. That's that. Yeah. Thank you so much.